Okay, let's talk about soloing outside of a 1, 4, and 5. Sometimes I hear aspiring blues guys sounding great when they're playing a shuffle or a swing tune, and the chord progression just uses the chords based off of the 1, 4, and 5. And the guitar player's got their cool minor pentatonic licks, and they're sounding good, and that's all great and dandy. And then a song comes along that isn't just 1, 4, and 5, and it goes to a different place. It has like a 2 chord or 6 chord, and man, the guitar player just can't get the sound of the tune, and the solos end up sounding like word salad. Okay, so this is just a thought. We get a lot of benefit when we slow things down and limit our choices on guitar, and practice where our landing spots are. So if we were to take a chord progression, let's say a simple chord progression that is A, right, and B minor, right? It's in the same key, but because the chord's changing, then the notes that we're playing in the key of A are going to have a different relationship to the chord that's sounding underneath the solo, right? And now would be a good time for me to mention that really all the great soloists have a relationship, or at least understand the relationship between the notes that they're playing at any given moment in time to the chords that are sounding in the song at that moment. Okay? Let me say that again. Hopefully it's clearer this time. That great soloists understand the relationship of the notes that they're playing to the chords that are sounding at that moment in time. Okay? They're not just playing in one key. So they're choosing their melody very specifically crafted to the chords, right? Now you can hear that even in great blues players like Albert King and B.B. King, and they might be only using 5 notes, but their landing spots are selected very specifically to whatever chord is sounding at that moment in time, okay? So when you have a chord progression like this, where you have a 1 chord just go into a 2 chord, like I'd Rather Go Blind or something like that Etta James tune, then it's really important to understand that the A chord, right, in this case, in this key, A, has A, C sharp, and E, but the notes that go on the B chord are B, D, and F sharp. Now you could play the notes in the A, they're in the same key, but they're not going to sound resolved. They're not going to imply the sound of B minor. And, assuming that our goal is all the same and that we want to play more compelling and interesting solos so that people want to listen to them, then I think it's important to work these exercises and really try to focus on getting the sound of the harmony of a particular song. Okay? So here's a little practice device where you might do this for just a couple of minutes, but it's basically just taking the notes of the A chord and hearing how they resolve to the notes of the B minor chord, right? A might want to go up to B when the B chord comes along, right? A, C sharp wants to go to D of the B chord, B minor, right? Right? E of the A chord wants to go up to F sharp of the B minor, right? And then we could also take the notes in the other direction. So E could go down to D of B minor. C sharp could go down to B, all right? Let me just play a little loop and you can hear how that works, okay? Here's my A chord. Here's my B minor chord, okay? Listen to how I'm resolving, right? A, I go to B, right? C sharp on A, C sharp wants to go to D, note here can go up to F sharp. Right? And then we've got the A going to B at the top. Now we can go in the other direction and go A down to F sharp. E goes down to D. C sharp. C sharp goes down to B. Now we can play two notes on the A. Same idea, here's E. Right. I can play more than two notes, right? Little delayed resolution. Right, you do double stops. Anyway, you get the point. So this idea of like slowing stuff down and just using little bits of information, limiting your choices, and focusing on the resolution can really help. And as this progresses, of course, you'll have more freedom to play more notes over the A chord, more notes over the B minor chord, if in fact you're hearing that, right? Or if it's necessary. Hopefully we're not just playing a machine gun, style rapid fire notes, right? We don't want to do that. It's not that compelling. Nobody wants to listen to that. Anyway, but slowing things down is really great. And this idea of like having a little loop of just two chords can be really, really beneficial. If it freaks you out a little bit to just have a bass line, record a little bass line, then record the chords as well, so you can hear the harmony a little bit clearer, right? As time goes on, it would be nice for you to practice playing that without the chords, with just the bass line, or maybe just with the metronome, right, and no accompaniment. And so you're playing in time and you're implying the chord changes, but without the aid of any sort of harmonic support. Anyway, best of luck working on this stuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a note or comment down below. Anyway, have a great week.